They told you that women want love, that if you give enough affection, attention, and loyalty, she will stay. Yet you have seen it. Men who love deeply lose. Men who care the most are abandoned. Men who sacrifice everything are forgotten. So here is the real question. If love is enough, why does it fail so often? If love is enough, why does it fail so often? Today, we uncover the uncomfortable truth. The 3 things women need more than love. And once you understand this, you will never look at relationships the same way. Again, let me tell you something most men are never taught. You have been told that women want passion, that they want romance, that they want excitement. And yes, they want excitement. And yes, they do. But passion without security feels like standing on beautiful ground that is cracking beneath your feet. And no woman relaxes on unstable ground. When we speak of security, we are not speaking of money alone. We are not speaking of money alone. We are not speaking of physical protection alone. We are speaking of psychological safety, the deep, quiet assurance that the man beside her is steady. A woman's nervous system is always reading the environment. It is ancient. It is instinctive. It asks silent questions you never hear. Is he stable? Is he consistent? Does he collapse under pressure? Is he consistent? Does he collapse under pressure? Will he become emotionally chaotic when things do not go his way? Dangerous to these questions is uncertain. Love begins to feel dangerous. Understand this carefully. Love creates emotion. Security creates attachment. A woman can feel intense passion for a man who makes her heart race. But if she also feels unpredictability, emotional swings, jealousy without control, or weakness under stress, her body begins to guard itself. She may still say she loves him. She may still stay for a time. But internally, something begins to withdraw. Because love that feels unsafe becomes exhausting. And here is where most men fail. They think providing security means constant reassurance. So they over-explain themselves. They over-text. They ask repeatedly, "Are you okay? Do you still love me? Did I do something wrong?" But in truth, it signals instability. Security is not about clinging. It is about containment. It is about containment. It is about containment. When problems arise, do you react impulsively? Or 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 do you react impulsively? When she is emotional, do you become emotional too? Or do you stay grounded? When conflict appears, do you panic? Or do you handle it with measured strength? Security is felt in your nervous system before it is understood in her mind. She does not analyze it logically. She senses it. A man who is secure does not rush to fix every emotion. He does not try to silence discomfort with grand gestures. He does not beg for validation. He listens. He remains steady. He allows emotions to pass without becoming the storm himself. And here is the paradox most men never grasp. The more emotionally controlled you are, the safer she feels. The safer she feels. The safer she feels. The deeper she attaches. The deeper she attaches, the stronger her love becomes. But remove stability, and love turns fragile. Consider this. When a man's mood depends entirely on her behavior, she feels pressure. If he is happy only when she is affectionate, if he is happy only when she is affectionate, angry when she is distant, Insecure when she is busy, she begins to feel responsible for regulating him. And once a woman feels she must emotionally parent a man, attraction begins to erode. Security means to erode. A security means she can trust that you remain yourself, regardless of temporary circumstances. It means your standards do not collapse because you fear losing her. It means your direction does not disappear because she is upset. It means your direction does not disappear because she is upset. It means your emotional center is self-governed. But to me, a secure man does not threaten to leave in every argument. He does not disappear to create artificial scarcity. He does not create drama to feel powerful. He is consistent. Consistency is rare, and what is rare becomes valuable. Insatiation. And what is rare becomes valuable. Insatiation. Into what is rare becomes valuable character, not boredom, but reliability. She knows who you are. She knows how you respond to difficulty. She knows you will not transform into a stranger under stress. This is why some men who are less romantic, less poetic, even less expressive, maintain long-term loyalty, because beneath their quiet nature lies stability. But why? Woman may chase excitement, but she rests in security. And rest is what creates long-term devotion. When she feels that your presence lowers her anxiety instead of increasing it, and rest is what creates long-term devotion. When she senses that your strength is not loud but controlled. When she understands that your identity is not dependent on her approval, something powerful happens inside her. Her guard lowers, her trust deepens, her emotions soften, and she begins to invest, not because you begged for love, but because your stability made love feel safe. Now let us go deeper. Made love feel safe. Now let us go deeper. Love without respect is fragile. It feels good in the beginning. It sounds beautiful. It looks romantic, but without respect, love slowly loses weight. It becomes emotional noise, loud, dramatic, but weak. And many men confuse admiration with respect. They compliment endlessly. They praise constantly. They elevate her above themselves. They believe that if they show enough appreciation, enough devotion, enough emotional surrender, she will feel valued and therefore stay. But admiration is not respect. Admiration is not respect. Admiration says, "You are amazing." Respect says, "I see you clearly, and I still stand firmly as myself." A woman may enjoy being adored, but she bonds deeply with a man who holds his ground. Respect is rooted in strength of identity. If your opinions change the moment she disagrees, if your boundaries disappear the moment she gets upset, if your standards bend because you fear conflict, she may feel powerful in the moment, but she will not feel secure long-term, because attraction requires polarity, and polarity requires structure. When a man is too eager to please, too afraid to challenge, too quick to surrender his position, something subtle happens in her perception. Something subtle happens in her perception. She begins to feel above him. And once she feels above you, she cannot fully look up to you. Respect is not about dominance. It is about self-governance. It is about knowing who you are and refusing to betray that identity for temporary harmony. When you calmly disagree, without hostility, she feels your backbone. When you enforce a boundary without anger, she feels your control. When you say no without guilt, she feels your independence. And independence creates admiration far deeper than flattery ever could. Understand this clearly. Women test for strength, not through cruelty, but through instinct. They may challenge your opinions. They may question your decisions. They may push emotional boundaries. not because they want chaos, but because they want chaos, but because they want certainty. They want to see if you collapse under pressure, if you become defensive, aggressive, or insecure. Respect weakens. If you remain composed, firm, and emotionally disciplined, respect grows. Respect is earned through consistency of character. A man who is easily manipulated cannot be respected. A man who is easily manipulated cannot be respected. A man who seeks constant approval cannot be respected, because respect requires autonomy. And here lies the uncomfortable truth. A woman can love a man she does not respect, but she cannot deeply desire him. Cannot deeply desire him. Desire feeds on tension. Respect sustains tension. Without respect, attraction becomes comfort, and comfort without polarity becomes indifference. When she knows you have standards that apply to everyone, including her, she feels chosen, not pedestalized. There is power in selective approval. If you approve of everything she does, your approval becomes meaningless. If your validation is automatic, it loses value. But when your respect must be maintained through mutual standards, it becomes rare, and rarity increases worth. Respect also means you do not over-explain your worth. You do not argue for your value. You do not try to convince her to see you as strong. Strength that needs advertisement is weakness. When your actions align with your words, when your behavior remains stable, regardless of emotional fluctuation, when your life has order and discipline, she senses integrity. Integrity creates respect, and respect creates long-term attraction. You must understand that kindness without structure becomes submission. Romance without backbone becomes dependency. Love without authority becomes imbalance. Respect is the invisible frame that holds love upright. Without it, everything collapses quietly. When she knows you cannot be emotionally controlled, when she sees that you do not tolerate disrespect, when she feels that your affection is given freely but not desperately, something shifts in her perception. You are no longer just a source of emotion. You become a pillar of strength, and pillars are not adored like decorations. They are relied upon. When she relies on your character more than your compliments, when she values your standards more than your compliments, when she senses that losing your respect would cost her something real, she invests differently. Because now, the relationship is not sustained by romance alone. Because now, the relationship is not sustained by romance alone. It is sustained by mutual value. Now we arrive at the third truth, and perhaps the one most men underestimate. Direction. Not love, not attention, not even stability alone. Direction. Direction. A man without direction is like a ship without a captain. It may float, it may even move, but it drifts wherever the current decides. And when a woman senses drift, she feels uncertainty. Understand this deeply. Attraction is not only about how you treat her. It is about how you move through life. If your life revolves around her moods, her schedule, her approval, she may feel important, but she will not feel led. And when a relationship lacks direction, it begins to feel heavy. It begins to feel heavy. A woman does not want to be the mission. She wants to join a mission. When a man wakes up with no vision, no discipline, no ambition, pulling him forward, he unconsciously begins to pull energy from the relationship. He overthinks, he overanalyzes, he obsesses. He seeks validation because he has nothing greater occupying his mind. But when a man has purpose, something that challenges him, something that demands growth, something that sharpens him, his energy shifts. He becomes focused. He becomes structured. He becomes structured. He becomes less reactive. And that focus creates attraction, because direction signals competence. It signals leadership. It signals that you are not surviving life. You are steering it. A woman feels safe when she senses forward movement, not because she needs control, but because direction reduces chaos. If every decision in the relationship is left open-ended, if every plan is vague, if every conflict leaves you confused and indecisive, she begins to feel the weight of leadership herself. And when she carries that weight too long, respect weakens. Direction does not mean control. It means initiative. It means you decide where the relationship is heading. You define your standard. You define your goals. You define your goals. You define your boundaries. You define your pace. A man with direction does not wait to be told what to do. He acts with intention, and intention is attractive. Consider how different it feels when a man says, "I don't know, what do you want to do?" compared to when he says calmly and confidently, "We going here tonight." The second creates structure. The first creates drift. Now, apply that to life. If your career path is unclear, your habits inconsistent, your ambitions undefined, she may still love you, but she will feel uncertainty about the future. Direction answers the silent question in her mind. Where is this going? Women are wired to think long-term. Stability and progress matter. Stability and progress matter. When she sees you building something, improving your body, strengthening your discipline, expanding your skills, pursuing excellence, she feels that she is walking beside a man who is moving upward. Upward movement creates excitement. Stagnation creates doubt. And doubt erodes attraction quietly. A man without purpose becomes overly emotional in relationships because he has nothing else commanding his attention. But a man with purpose loves differently. He is present, but not consumed. He cares, but he does not cling. He invests, but he does not abandon his path. That balance creates power, because now, love is not the center of your identity. It is part of your life, not the whole of it. Not the whole of it. When she senses that you would continue progressing with or without her, she values her position beside you more, not because she fears losing you, but because she respects the momentum you carry. Momentum is magnetic. It pulls people forward. And when you are moving forward with clarity, she does not feel like she is dragging you through life. She feels like she is being guided into something expanding. Direction also stabilizes conflict. When challenges arise, a man with purpose does not spiral. He evaluates, he adjusts. He continues moving. His identity is not shaken by temporary obstacles, because his foundation is built on vision, not validation. This creates emotional steadiness. And emotional steadiness, tied to ambition, creates deep attraction, because now she sees not only who you are, but where you are going. And where you are going determines whether she chooses to follow. Now we step into the final layer, the one that separates temporary attraction from enduring fascination: mystery. Growth. Without these two forces, even love built on security, respect, and direction begins to feel predictable. And predictable. And predictability, when left unmanaged, slowly drains desire. Let me explain. Attraction thrives in discovery. In the beginning of any relationship, everything feels electric, because everything is unknown. Every story is new. Every reaction is surprising. Every layer uncovered feels like progress. But what happens when there is nothing left to discover? But what happens when there is nothing left to discover? When a man reveals every thought immediately, when he becomes entirely predictable, when his routine never evolves, when his personality remains static, excitement fades. Not because she stopped loving him, but because the mind craves expansion. Mystery is not manipulation. It is depth. A man with mystery does not overshare his insecurities. On the first sign of connection, he does not reveal his entire history. In one emotional conversation, he does not make himself completely transparent in an attempt to prove honesty. He reveals himself gradually, layer by layer. He allows space for curiosity. When you are entirely available, emotionally, mentally, physically, without rhythm or pacing, you remove anticipation. You remove anticipation. And anticipation is a powerful ingredient in attraction. Mystery creates anticipation. Mystery creates anticipation. It makes her wonder what you are thinking. It makes her curious about your next move. It keeps her engaged because there is still something to uncover. But mystery alone is not enough. It must be paired with growth. Because mystery without evolution becomes stagnation, disguised as silence of growth. Growth means you are not the same man she met months ago. You are sharper, stronger, more disciplined, more refined. When a woman senses evolution, her perception of you renews. In a costumie's evolution, her perception of you renews certain. She begins to rediscover you, and rediscovery rekindles. Desire. Many men fall into comfort once they feel secure in a relationship. They stop improving. They stop challenging themselves. They stop surprising her. They believe low. They guarantees permanence. But comfort without growth breeds boredom. Boredom does not explode dramatically. It erodes slowly. You must understand that human psychology craves novelty. When nothing changes, the brain adapts. When the brain adapts, excitement lowers. When excitement lowers, attraction softens. Growth interrupts adaptation. When you pursue new skills, refine your physique, elevate your mindset, expand your ambitions, your presence shifts. Even your energy changes. She feels it before she can explain it. You become dynamic. And dynamism sustains fascination. There is also power in emotional unpredictability. Not chaos, but depth. If your reactions are always obvious, if your behavior is entirely linear, she stops reading you carefully. But when you are composed yet layered, calm yet capable of intensity, warm yet selective, with vulnerability, she remains attentive. With vulnerability, she remains attentive. Attention sustains attraction. Mystery also requires boundaries. If she knows everything instantly, your schedule, your fears, your weaknesses, your intentions, there is no space left for imagination. There is no space left for imagination. And imagination intensifies emotion. A man who maintains parts of himself private is not distant. He is centered. He does not hide. He contains. Containment creates intrigue, and intrigue keeps emotional investment alive. Now, combine mystery with growth. When she senses that you are constantly evolving and that there are still aspects of you she has not fully explored, the relationship remains alive. It breathes. It moves. It stretches. Without this, even strong foundations weaken. Security makes her feel safe. Respect makes her feel safe. Respect makes her value you. Direction makes her follow your momentum, but mystery and growth make her continue choosing you, because choosing requires stimulation when you remain curious about life, when you pursue excellence without announcing it constantly, when you maintain composure. Instead of emotional overexposure, you create an atmosphere where she never feels like she has reached the end of you. And as long as there is more to discover, desire continues to renew itself. So now you see the pattern. Love was never the enemy, but love alone was never the answer. You were taught to give more affection, more reassurance, more emotional intensity, yet intensity without structure collapses. What truly sustains attraction is deeper. Security calms her nervous system. Respect preserves polarity. Direction creates momentum. Mystery and growth renew desire. When these forces are present, love becomes powerful. When they are absent, love becomes fragile. This is not about manipulation. It is about mastery of yourself, because every one of these qualities begins within the man. Security comes from emotional control. Respect comes from self-standards. Direction comes from purpose. Mystery and growth come from discipline and evolution. You do not demand these outcomes. You embody them. And when you embody them, something shifts. She does not feel pressured to love you. She feels safe to. She does not feel obligated to respect you. She chooses to. She chooses to. She does not feel trapped in your world. She feels invited into something expanding. Understand this clearly. The man who chases love loses power. The man who builds himself becomes powerful, and love follows. When you become steady instead of reactive, firm instead of desperate, purposeful instead of dependent, evolving instead of stagnant, relationships transform, not because you forced them to, but because you became the kind of presence that naturally sustains them. Love is beautiful, but love needs a frame, and now you understand how to build it.